$112,000 in 90 days on this YouTube channel with no face, no team, no editing, just AI. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and right now is by far the easiest time in history to make 6 figures with it. And I'm gonna break down the exact 4-step system I use to build channels like this, and I'm gonna build one right in front of you. Let's go. Step 1, niche format. Not the niche, the format, because that's what the YouTube algorithm actually rewards. And the fastest way to find a winning format is to just copy a channel that blew up in the last 2 weeks. The demand is already proven, but the competition hasn't caught up. Thing is, if you pick the wrong niche, you can make less than $1 per 1,000 views. Pick the right one and you can be making $30, $40 per 1,000 views. Now, here's how I find good niches in under 60 seconds. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to TubeGen.ai. This is my website, and on here on the left-hand side, we have a niche finder. You press right here. So I'm gonna select faceless channels only. I'm gonna do long form. Another thing I do is make sure it's on English because English has the highest RPM. Now let's make the typical views per video at least 20,000, for example. Then from here, let's set the channel to, let's say in the last month was their first upload. And then we just apply these filters and let it load. So all we do is kind of just scroll through here, and then I'll stop once I find a good channel. Now right here, this channel actually seems super interested. You can see I didn't even scroll too far to find it. And pretty much they're getting around 28,000 views per video, and they started 2 weeks ago and they're already monetized. It's faceless, and pretty much what they're doing is they're making Lego style content. Now you might think that's for kids, but it's actually finance content. So kids obviously aren't watching this. The target demographic is older people, maybe 30, 40, that like Legos, so maybe used to play with Legos. So the RPM here should be pretty good. You could see their first few videos did all right, but they had 8,000, 6,000 views here. But right here on, I believe, their 6th upload, they hit almost 100,000 views. And keep in mind, that's only 13 days ago. Now to validate this niche, the only thing we need to really look for is consistency. Did it just hit 90K in one video, or is it doing it again? And you can see we have 80K here, 60K here, and then just 2 days ago, 20K, 1 day ago, 30K. So it looks like the view count is pretty consistent. We don't need 90K every video, but being in that like tens of thousands of view range is really good. So I just kept looking through TubeGen's niche finder for maybe around 5 to 10 minutes. And in total, I have 7 niches pulled up here. Now right here, I have a Google Doc, and we're just gonna write like niche list. And what I'm gonna do is go through and rate all of them and see which channel I should start. So this first channel here is called Texan Insider. They started 3 weeks ago and they have 6,000 subscribers. And let's take a look at their views. 20K, 166, 68K, 50K, 27K. And this is once again content that's going to be targeted towards an older demographic. That's what we want here. And I have a channel actually that I run in a similar niche. So I know around what this RPM can be. And this RPM in this type of niche can range anywhere from like $9 to $14. So let's assume it's around 10. They have 511,000 views in 3 weeks, meaning in 3 weeks they made $5,000. So we'll put like easy level. I'd probably put this at like a 7.5. RPM is going to be around $10, I would say. And I'd say you're making at least $4,000 profit a month on this channel easily, probably consistently, probably more than that, to be honest with you, because keep in mind, it hasn't even been a full month yet. So I would say that this niche is good. If what I just showed you feels like something you already want to do, but you just need someone to guide you, that's exactly what my private community is for. Anthony came in new to YouTube, made over $50,000 with his first AI YouTube channel, and then bought himself an AMG. Matt started just a month ago, and he's already at $23,000 in his first 30 days. These aren't outliers. This is what happens when you have the framework and you actually execute. The link is in the description. Apply, we'll hop on a call with you, we'll map out your first channel with you and see if this is the right fit. If you're serious, go do that now. Otherwise, let's keep building. Now let's go to Project Nightwatch. This one is super easy. I mean, I already took a look at these. These are just completely generated, just AI videos, nothing to them at all. This is like level 10 easy, and the RPM here, because they're long videos. Keep in mind, you know, language, audience age, those stuff matter. But you know, if you have a 2-hour long video, that's essentially the same as having a ton of 10-minute videos back to back, right? Like 12 of them in a row. So because people are watching a longer video, there's just more ads. So the RPM in this is going to be around $25. But the problem is this one is risky. This one, it doesn't look like they're doing much variation between their videos. So I think there's a risk of getting demonetized on something like this. Now, if you do it correctly, it could still work. So you could take this niche and do it in the right way. Right now, they're not demonetized. So this one's just a little risky, and I'll mark that. So just because of that, I'm going to put this as yellow because I think this is great. But imagine, you know, building up the whole channel just for it to kind of get demonetized. We don't want that. Next, we got Rooted Garden, and this channel is looking really, really good. Once again, AI videos. They're super long, and we're targeting probably like old moms, grandmas. I'm gonna have to give this, you know, easy level. This is probably a 9. The RPM here is also gonna be really good. I've never run a channel exactly in this niche, so I can't say exactly what the audience is, I'll be honest. I'm probably gonna have to go with somewhere in between the first 2 channels. I think this is gonna be like around, let's say $13. So this channel is making at least 10K a month. I would say once again, I will green light this channel. And now you can kind of see how I'm going about this. I'm not gonna go through and rate all these channels, but I will show them to you guys. Here we have American Food History. Once again, this is 10 out of 10 easy, completely AI. This one has 1 million views, but they're uploading a ton. And you can see they have a video here with 500,000 views. So most of their views on their channel actually came from a single video. So it seems a little bit inconsistent. I don't think there's longevity. I think this is a great niche. I just don't see this lasting 6 months, let's say. This channel, I think, has the most longevity because I haven't seen something like this. And this just looks like a really new format to me. I really like it overall. And because of that, I want to go into it. Now you might be like, well, why don't I go into this one? Or why don't I go into this one? This one looks like, as you can see, their video from 2 days ago has 900 views. It's just mildly concerning. Once again, this isn't bad, but you know, not too great. And the thing is, this one just has so many views, and I can see their collab posting with another channel. So I think they're getting a little bit of a head start. So this one looks the most consistent, the most natural, and looks like good RPM. So that's why I'm stumbling on this channel. It's also the newest one too. Now that we have our winning channel, Akana Fisher, we're gonna do what we call a niche bend. Now I pulled up this channel in here. So we have his profile picture. Now every niche is built up of 2 things: the niche, which is the broad niche, and the sub niche, right? Every channel is gonna have this if it's successful. Now a broad niche can be either like a video game or the specific topic, right? And then a format can be a broad niche. So in this case, it's pretty simple, right? The format here is Lego channels. So that's gonna be the broad niche, and the sub niche is talking about politics. It's talking specifically, I think, about US politics. So when you do a niche bend, you wanna make sure that this section here, the broad niche, stays the same, but then we're gonna take this section here and make this not the same. So all we gotta do is pretty much X this out and then keep this. So now broad niche is Lego. So how do we keep it in Lego but change the sub niche? Now we want the same audience, obviously, for the money, but instead of US politics, we could do pretty much anything like Canadian politics, Australian politics, UK politics. Another thing we can do, just for example, is we could do something trending right now. We could talk about war in Iran. So instead of US politics, we could just do like global war, right? So whatever war is, I guess, trending. And I guess that sounds a little bit morbid, but you know, I've run channels talking about war, and you can make a lot of money because a ton of people watch them. So now pretty much what we did is we just swapped the sub niche, and that's what a niche bend is. Now, just to give you guys a visual example of a niche bend, we have this channel here, Dinzo, and you can see every single video here is like why it sucks to be born as a Komodo dragon, why it sucks to be born as an eagle, why it sucks to be born as a giant anaconda. So if we go to Dinzo's channel and we kind of map out the same thing, right? We have the niche, which that's split into the broad niche and the sub niche. And keep in mind, if the niche has a format, that's what the broad niche is. So the broad niche is why it sucks. So why it sucks to be born as blanks. And then the sub niche here, in Dinzo's case, is animals, right? You can see that the broad niche is consistent throughout all the videos. Why it sucks to be born as blank. Obviously, sometimes the titles are a little bit different, but you know, it's the same format. And then as you can see, these are all animals. You don't have aliens here. You don't have, you know, politicians here. It's all different types of animals. But we can see here a channel like Wallace, they took the same broad niche and then they just take the sub niche and cross that out, right? And then they did a niche bend and then they made this, you know, fictional characters, right? So now why it sucks to be fictional characters. So we have why it sucks to be, you know, a Viltrumite, why it sucks to be a Kryptonian, why it sucks to be a Jedi, etc., etc. And that's the format of the channel. Notice how here there's no animals, it's only fictional characters. And just for one more example, we have this channel, Jay Hona. They also started doing the why it sucks to be, but instead of fictional characters or instead of animals, they didn't do either of these, right? They actually went ahead and they changed it to dinosaurs. And in this case, you can see all of these videos are about dinosaurs. And these are just a few examples with this one broad niche. If you want to go and look, I've seen probably at least 100 different sub niche or niche bends done with this same broad niche. So we're just doing that same thing here. And now we're going to go ahead and actually make that channel. So next thing you want to do is actually set up your YouTube channel before you get your first video uploaded. So I'm going to show you this channel as an example. As you can see, I don't run it anymore, but it's a Canadian used channel that used to make like $5,000 a month, and then it died off. But in here, there's a ton of things you can do. So just imagine this is a new channel. We can go into settings here. You want to go over to channel and you want to add keywords. These are your channel tags, 3 to 5 super specific ones to your niche. You don't have to stress about this too much. Just come up with the ones off the top of your head. Go into your advanced settings here. Make sure you set no, this channel is not made for kids. Then you go to your upload defaults, go to your advanced settings here, select your category and select your video language to English, title and description to English. And those are really the main things. The next thing is you just go to customization, just add yourself profile picture and banner and a name. Now these things don't matter at all. You can see I probably set this up in 10 seconds. I just search up Canadian flag, put that as a profile picture, Canadian flag as a banner. As you can see, it's even cropped awfully. It looks really bad. Just put a description, simple. You just want to fill all this stuff out because this isn't going to affect if people watch your video. The name of your channel, the profile picture, banner, description of the channel, those things will not affect anything, but it just, all of these proves to YouTube a little bit more that you're not a robot. Before you first upload, warm up the YouTube channel. Ideally, use an aged YouTube account, maybe one that you've had for a couple of years. Just make sure that you delete or private any old videos. Then just spend a little bit of time every day interacting with content in your niche. You can do things like skim through the video, comment, like. YouTube just needs to believe that you're not a bot before it decides to push your first video. Most people skip this step and then wonder why their channel flops. Now, the part that actually makes us hands off, content automation. 3 bottlenecks normally kill this for most people, and that's scripting, voice acting, and visuals. 3 years ago, you needed a full team or working 20+ hours on a single video yourself. Today, AI handles all 3. And the real move isn't having just one channel, it's having multiple. One making $8,000 a month, maybe $4,000, then another making $20,000. That's where we get the YouTube empire. Let me show you how I build this with almost no manual work. Now, the next thing that we need to do is actually set up the channel. And I make my videos in TubeGen, so I'm gonna show how to make the video with TubeGen. Now, you can actually follow along with this and not use TubeGen if you don't want to, and just figure out how you would do this with other AI tools. It'll kind of make sense once you watch it and you'll understand how you could do this with other AI tools. Just the whole point of TubeGen is it'll be a lot quicker because everything's in one spot and it kind of mass does everything for you at the same time. Now for title, you can generate a title here, but I actually like to come up with my own titles. So what we can do here is we can just go and actually take the title directly from here and use the same title as his best performing outlier video on the Lego channel, because we're making the Lego channel just using the news channel for the script writing. So now all we have to do is paste this in here and then press generate, and then we're going to generate the script. So here we have our short script just for this demo. Of course, if I was actually making a video, I would make a much longer script. Then the next step is to go over to the voiceover tab, and then we simply just hit generate like that. It's just going to take the script from the previous tab and make a voiceover. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually just paste in your own script in here if you wrote your own or whatever, but obviously we just generated one. And now we have our voiceover. If we want to, we can even go an extra step and add cuts, right? So this is going to cut like the breathing in the AI voiceover. You don't need to do this, but you can if you want to. I'm just going to leave it be, and then we're going to head over to the visuals tab. Now here's where things are going to get interesting. We're going to select animated. Now you can make videos with images, animations, talking head avatars, like as if me recreated. You could use stock footage B-roll, or like a mix between either images and B-roll, animations and B-roll, or a mix of all of these, right? There's a ton of options here. We're simply just going to go with animated. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my art style here, right? I'm also just going to turn on smart overlays. This is just good to have for if you have anything in the script that could make a chart. It's just going to read the script and determine, okay, could a chart be made or could a map animation be made? And if not, then it won't, but I like to just turn it on. Then we're going to animate all the images here. We're going to go to our art style and we're going to go and press create custom art style. Now we're going to go here, and what we can do is we can go ahead and we can take a screenshot of this, for example, and we can just copy this image. Then we go into TubeGen add image, we can actually just put this right here. Then we'll just call the style like Lego, for example. You can press auto describe style or write your own description. Now description in this case would be important, but I always like to just auto describe it anyways, just for the best results. Now you can put multiple images, but I actually think having just 1 or 2 works the best to make it consistent. Then we simply press create style. Then from here, we can even have consistent characters. So we can turn this on and press generate characters. So to read the script and see, do multiple characters need to be added from the script? Now the script is less than than 400 words. So in this case, I'd imagine there's probably no repeating characters, but you know, it's cool to have this in a script where, you know, you would need it. Now in this case, it is saying that we have consistent characters, but I'm just guessing that they probably only appear once each because it's so short. But if that was like a 10-minute video, that would be good to have them on, so that if a character appears 2 or 3 times, it's the same exact Lego Navy soldier, for example. Now for quality, we're gonna do a custom turbo for the quality here. And then, yeah, we're gonna animate all the images. Then all we have to do is press generate 24 prompts and then press continue here. Now, while we're waiting for this to generate, we can actually go over to the thumbnail and even the soundtrack. So one thing we can do is we can press use generated voiceover, and then we can continue and auto split the segments with AI, and it's gonna pretty much identify the tone of the script and create AI generated music for the background of your video, which is super cool. And now we have both of these generating, and now we can even do the thumbnail. So the cool thing is all these things you can do on their own. So you can actually work in different tabs while things are loading, which I find super useful. So now we're gonna press on auto generate here for the thumbnail, and we're gonna take these thumbnails and we're actually gonna paste in some different ones. So let's take the most popular videos here. Let's try this one here. We'll paste this in and add it, and then we'll try this one here. And then it's going to take the art style of these thumbnails, read our title, and it's going to generate us thumbnails that are in that style based on our YouTube title. Now it says the soundtrack is done. So we just go here, it made the splits, and now we just press generate soundtrack, it'll generate the music. We go to the visuals, the prompts are 96% done, so you can see pretty much where we are. So with the visuals, here's the first visual that it made. As you can see, it's a bunch of Legos. Now you can go through and see all the parts of the script it's gonna use. You can see, you know, pretty much everything, what prompt it's gonna use, the timing and everything. And you can see it actually did the auto-generated map animation here, which is super, super cool and useful. And then we even have a header as well, and then another map scene. So it actually found some cool spots to do charts and maps. This is actually super, super cool. I didn't think with 400 words it would have some, but this is super, super cool. And if you want to, of course, you can always switch to use image. Then from here, we're just gonna press generate all images and go ahead and generate. And as you can see, our soundtrack is now made and the thumbnails are also generated. So this thumbnail, for example, we could press use this and then it's gonna download. And then from here, we can go ahead and we can edit the thumbnail even further by saying what we want to change, right? So we could upload this new thumbnail, and then let's say we want like change the yellow text to green, for example. We could say that. You could say whatever you want. It's actually a bad example because you could do a lot more complex stuff than that. But you could say like make his hair orange, move like the stuff around. Like you can really say anything, and it actually does a really great job. And as you can see, now that thumbnail is changed like that. If we go back to the visuals tab, all of these images are done, and these look so insanely good. It's actually ridiculous as to how good these look. Like guys, this is nuts. I actually have no words for how good AI is at this point. Then we go ahead and we can make all these move, animate all images. We could do fixed camera, for example. And then from here, we're gonna do animate all. Now, as you can see, the animations are totally done and they look incredible. From here, we can go over to the video editor and everything will actually be in here. We can go ahead and go change, for example, the music to be like 5% audio. You can even add like transitions, effects in here, whatnot. But this is an animated video, so we don't need to. And I'm actually gonna go skip to the part of the video where we have like all the animations with the maps and stuff. So you can see exactly what this looks like. So let's play it from here. It'll have the animations, the charts, everything.
They turned Iran's most powerful geographic asset into an American checkpoint. To understand why that matters, you need to understand what the Strait of Hormuz actually represents in hard economic terms. This is a 21-mile wide passage at the southern end of the Persian Gulf, and through it flows roughly 20% of all oil and liquefied natural gas traded on Earth every single day. The U.S. Energy Information Administration puts the daily volume at approximately 17 million barrels. When that flow is threatened, energy markets do not wait for confirmation. They price in the risk immediately, and that risk premium translates directly into gasoline prices in Ohio.
That's crazy, as you can see. And if you like want to see the part in the start, you can also see kind of how the video starts with the actual animations.
A naval formation stretching across the mouth of the Persian Gulf.
And just in general, this is absolutely ridiculous that you can get a video that looks like this and has all of this just generated with AI. Now the next step is you just simply press on export, and that's going to give you your video. That's the 4-step system: niche, setup, automation, upload. $112,000 in 90 days on this channel, and students hitting 20, 40, even $50,000 months. And a discount to TubeGen is in the link in the description if you want to start building alongside me. And now if you're thinking, actually, I do want somebody to go through and guide me with every step of the process, then the link to join my community is below as well. Apply, book a call, and then we'll move forward. I'll see you in the next one.